מי שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב ויברך את חיילי צבא הגנה לישראל ואנשי כוחות הביטחון עומדים על משמר ארצנו וארצנו.
We're making paintings to SAR graduates who are fighting in the Israeli army right now.
You have letters to send?
The reason that we're here all together is the fact that a school have 20 Chayalim who participated in Sukkeitan. It's an astronomical number. I can't even imagine that would exist anywhere else.
Hi, my name is Adina Israel. I'm part of class of 2012 and I'm proud to serve in the IDF. Ever since I was really little, my parents and community have encouraged me to be a strong and active Zionist. Both this and the SAR community have encouraged me to leave all that I had behind and join the IDF.
Now, I've decided to take my talents to the Holy Land and join Tzahal. I'm Alex Katch from New Rochelle, New York. I went to SAR from 1st grade to 12th grade. I graduated the high school in 2012. When I decided to go to the army, when I announced it in yeshiva, my Dvar Torah on the Parsha was all about what SAR has been teaching me. Making Kiddush Hashem and what it means. Rabbi Drelech throughout all of elementary school would always say, make Kiddush Hashem, make Kiddush Hashem.
Hello, I'm David Ronan from Teaneck, New Jersey. I was also at SAR from 1st grade till 12th grade, and I was in the paratrooper brigade. Now I'm in commander school. It's not about myself, it's not about me. It's about Israel, it's about Eretz Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Medinat Yisrael, and the people who live here.
Hi, my name is Masih Kestenbaum. I'm from SAR's class of 2012. And now I'm serving in the Golani Brigade. I've always felt a type of connection to Israel from my family and also from my community, but definitely from SAR. They always try to push this connection that if something happens in Israel, it's not something that just happened in Israel. We're also saying Tehillim. We're also trying to raise money or trying to get a donation going.
I can certainly remember when I was a much younger guy, spending my first days at SAR and watching little 3-4-year-olds in white and blue. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And we see that it just becomes a part of their language and who they are.
Well, let's think, why do we have Kever Rachel?
To ingrain those values from when kids were tiny. Just become part of their language, to be able to wave Degel Yisrael, to be able to celebrate those Chagim, and one thing builds on the next.
My name is Max Kane. I graduated SAR High School in 2011.
To be a soldier of Tzahal is a statement.
As I grew up through my years at SAR, I realized that the Army was something I had to do for myself. So I decided to join the Army in on July 1st, 2012.
My name is Racheli Jonas. I graduated SAR Academy in 2008 and SAR High School in 2012. I served in Chayalim, which is a combat engineering unit. Obviously, SAR started me on my journey to Israel.
When you're in an open environment, you don't think about the arba melt around you. You get a feeling that there's something beyond you. There's something bigger than you.
Things that I thought were taboo to mention or to even think about, SAR's bringing it up, it's on the table. Just having an open mind and being able to speak about all these different things, for me, that's something that really impacted me.
I'm Sam Fragan from Scarsdale, New York. I'm currently in Nachal, which is infantry. For me, making Aliyah, it wasn't a question of if, it was a question of when.
I believe that SAR integrates Zionism into every single aspect of social life. Whether it is saying Mishpach Chaylei Tzahal every morning after davening, or whether it's having chagigas, dressing up in blue and white for Yom Ha'atzmaut.
One of the pillars of an SAR education is the connecting our students to Medinat Yisrael, to Eretz Yisrael.
I was immediately drafted to Israel Army.
We actually try very, very hard to teach our kids through giving them and providing them with certain real experiences that become part of who they are.
Hello, my name is Sarah Schloss. I am from Riverdale, New York. I graduated in 2008. I am a shooting instructor for Lotar. Something that's really, SAR really gave to me for my love of Israel and my understanding of Israel was all the Israeli teachers that we had in SAR.
We're a school that still is committed to Ivrit, to learning in Hebrew, to Hebrew immersion, to Hebrew becoming part of who we are, and for our graduating students to be comfortable in the Hebrew language.
The UN החליטו, תודה, לחלק
For us, it means integrating Israeli education everywhere we can in the classroom. It can be as part of the Limudei Kodesh program, it's part of the history program. When you take on all of those pieces, it ends up permeating the culture of the school in many different places.
Hi, my name is David Arbit. I graduated SAR in the class of 2010. I served in Golani in the 12th Battalion. One of the things I remember best is the Tekes on Yom HaZikaron at SAR. I always remember being very touched by the stories and by the Tekes itself.
And I don't think I fully understood what the Tekes Yom HaZikaron was until I moved to Israel. And I go to Har Herzl on Yom HaZikaron, and the songs that they sing there are the same songs that we sing in SAR. The fact that I know those songs is so important. It's so full of Israeli culture. And the fact that I learned that in 6th grade in SAR is so amazing to me.
One of the highlights of the year is joining us on the steps for Hallel on Yom HaAtzmaut and Yom Yerushalayim. Alumni come back to join us for that day. Parents join us on that day.
For us, it's a real source of pride that 80% of our graduates spend a year in Israel.
One time when I saw Rabbi Herzog, his face lit up and asked me how I was, how my service was going, how was it living in Israel. And the last thing he said to me was, Yishal Koach, we're so proud of you. That meant the world to me, that I have an entire school and faculty and community behind me.
My name is Hannah Lieberman. I graduated at SAR in 2011. I'm here at the end of my Kurs K'tzinim, officer school graduation. We went through the Operation Protective Edge, guarded on the Gaza border. Finally, I'm finished, and I'm a first lieutenant.
Hi, how are you, David?
We really need in America and in SAR and everywhere around the world to have a renewed appreciation for what the young men and women of the state of Israel sacrifice and do to protect us all around the world.
חטיבת גולני כאן קודקוד. היום מוצאי שבת. עם ישראל כולו מאחורינו. צאו להתקפה, התקפה סוף.
The past summer here was very difficult. We started to realize that there were so many of our graduates involved in the war. I guess there was a feeling both of trepidation and of really deep pride.
This past summer, I was part of Israel's defense against Gaza in Tzuk Eitan. The walk-in was, I could say, the most exciting moment that I've had in my life.
We went into Gaza on Saturday night, July 19th. I was a Samal Makhlaka, which means a platoon sergeant, which means I'm the number 2 in charge of a group of 21 people. Nobody in my platoon had ever seen any form of live combat, been in any war or anything like that. Everybody's obviously, you have all different emotions. You're scared, you're excited, you're motivated, you sort of feel everything. It's a mixture of emotions. After we went in, 8 of the 21 soldiers in my platoon were injured, some more seriously than others, including my commanding officer. That put me in a position where I then had to continue on fighting in the war, being in a position that I wasn't necessarily trained for or wasn't necessarily ready for.
On the one hand, I was frightened. There were rockets flying, sirens going off 6 or 7 times a day, and my parents were far away. However, on the other hand, it was the first time that I actually felt like I was doing something. There was something happening in the state of Israel, and I felt like I could do something about it.
For the first time in my entire life, I felt that what I've worked for and what I've waited for since I was 6 years old was to defend this country. That was the feeling that, at that moment you were actually doing your dream, living the dream.
אני חושבת שלהיות אימא של חייל זה מאוד מאוד קשה. ולהיות אימא של חייל בודד זה הרבה יותר קשה.
But there are certain moments in your service where you're definitely struck by the fact that you are a lone soldier and what that really means.
It sounds very simple, but it's something very difficult to come back after a week in the army. That could be really, really tough, and you could be in the shetach, in the field with no shower, no nothing, and then you come home and you don't have that hug from your parents.
When she would call me and she would say that she was fine, but I could hear in her voice that she was really feeling very emotional from what was happening and stressed, and I couldn't comfort her. It was tough.
ואפילו בעניינים הטכניים, לכבס לו את העמדים, להכין לו ארוחת שבת כשהוא מגיע אחרי 3 שבועות שהוא לא היה בבית.
In one of the first weeks after I drafted, it was Thanksgiving, and so I did a Skype phone call with my family back home. My commander came in and was like, "You need to get off now." And I had to hang up on them in the middle of a Skype conversation, and it was just devastating.
We kind of create our own community because I have a lot of friends that are also here, so that definitely helps a lot.
When I first got to the Army, I was in basic training for 1 month. The other girls there were constantly crying how they just wanted the week to be over so they could go home to their families.
People talk about how they go home and the first thing they do is give their parents a hug and kiss, and they wait for their parents' food, and I don't have that, but it's the sacrifices you make for something you believe in.
This past Purim, we actually got mishloach manot from SIR, which was truly amazing. It was the candy is really fun. We always love candy, but the best part of it is keep sending candy. But the best part is the letters that we get from students.
That was a crazy moment for me because I remember writing shows.
Exactly.
In SAR.
Yeah, it's true. You never really think they're going to.
You never think they're going to get
I thought that. If I can be honest, I thought they threw them out, but now I see they really get them. It's funny when the Americans come up to me and say like, "Tuna,"
and you're like, "I'm from New York."
From New York. Like, yeah, it's okay, but don't hurt yourself.
Like, let's take a selfie. When I joined the Army, I was not only learning Hebrew, I was learning Army Hebrew.
Well, I don't get when they call me a gingy. Like, this is.
My Hebrew got much better, but my Hebrew is now in Army Hebrew.
Can I play the song?
ואת איתי, את לא לבד, למבצעית יש רק אחד.
כמה הייתי יוצא, שתשלחי לי עוד עכשיו.
I have a really American accent though.
כל הזמן צנחן, כל הזמן מוכן.
המש"קית אמרה לי, או אני או גולני.
השמש תדום ונעזר
ירח ילבין על פסקת החרמון, פרחים בקנה ובנות בצריח ישובו לעיר חיילים באהבה.
People talk about the Am or the Medina, as in we're just one country, and that's something that I discovered here. A feeling of being able to give to this Am and to also enjoy being part of it.
Everyone needs to do the most that they're able to do for Israel. That's, for me, the definition of being a Jew.
I want to be part of building the nation. I want my kids to grow up there.
I truly believe that through my Army service, I gave a lot to this country and a lot to the Jews living in this country.
I believe that by moving to Israel and joining the IDF, I'm contributing to Isaiah's prophecy that all Jews should return to Israel.
See an SAR graduate in Madin. Nothing better than that.
אבותינו הקדושים, הקדושים, הוא יברך את חיילי
We are so proud of you. We think of you all the time.
חיילי ישראל.
Thank you, SAR, for staying consistent and showing me as much love today as you did as my first day in 4th grade.
This is an evening where we can say, Toda Rabbah. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for what you have done. Thank you for strengthening our connections in United Israel.
אבותינו הקדושים, מי שבי
חבר'ה, הגיע המכתבים.
הוא יברך את חיילי ישראל, את חיילי ישראל. השם, השם, ישמור ויציל אתכם. השם ישמור ויציל את חיילינו.
May you be able to serve with honor and with dignity, continue to make us proud, and to be able to do your share and be able to bring peace to Medinat Yisrael and to Am Yisrael around the world. Kol hakavod to all of you. Thank you so much.
כי אדוני הולך עמכם, נילחם לכם, עמו אויביכם, נושיע אתכם ונאמר אמן.